Welcome, my name is Kat, this is my channel Kat Can Sew, and welcome to episode 44. I'm on Instagram under Kat Can Sew, and this is my little place on the internet where I get to share my stitching. It is the 16th of January 2026, and this should be short and sweet. I've only got like 4 projects I worked on, plus 4 technical finishes. Which we're going to be seeing a bunch of. Some technically haul, and that's about it for this week. Not much has been going on. So let's jump straight into the stitching. Okay, so I'm calling them technical finishes because they are stitching. They count as having finishes, right? But I'm going to have like 50 of these this year because they are 380 stitches-ish. A couple of the ones that I've got coming up are a little smaller. So these are the colouring squared patterns. So this is what it is. It is a colour by number page. Colouring squared is the website. They do colour by number, they do like addition and subtraction and number ranges and stuff. It's very much aimed at, you know, teaching kids numbers. But they work for our themes for work for our seasonal events. So I currently have Thanksgiving and Halloween because I was off work for those times. So I got given all of those the last day of the Christmas event. So I've done 4 more. Here is a photo of the 9 of the 10 Christmas designs I did. The Mario ornament, which you would have seen on my fabric in on my paper last episode. I finished stitching the last one, glued the felt on, had a shower, glued on the magnets, and then basically left for work. So they had a note on the whiteboard of do not touch, still drying, for like a week. But I was showing them to my lead and she tried to lift them apart, and the Mario one was on top and it just disconnected from the magnet because the glue was not set, but it had hardened enough that I couldn't like reuse it. So I brought it home and re-glued it, let it sit for a couple of days before going back into work. So this in this set is the Grinch and the Christmas tree. And then because I'm doing all of these twice, because I'm doing one for the office and one for the lead who is organizing these, I have redone the Christmas tree and the snowman. So my goal is to get the 6 Christmas ones I haven't duplicated yet done. So the ornament will be next, and I have the Grinch and Hello Kitty. And then I have some, I just dropped the needle. I have some Halloween ones, Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a mural one, the same as Jurassic World. Cupcake and Baby Freddy. A couple of pumpkins. And a Thanksgiving turkey. So one of those will probably go on here. The Mario ornaments take up a little bit less space. And a couple of those projects are actually a little bit narrower as well. So I've got to work out how the best works. But this is my last big piece of perforated paper. I may have a little bit extra from what I cut off of the ornaments that I did, the ribbon candy ornaments. But I do have perforated PVC on order. It was saying 8 to 18 days for before it's sent out, and I ordered it like 4 days ago, so probably by the end of the month. Which I'm hoping the perforated plastic will just hold that little bit better for doing the big ones, because I've got to do the 6, so it's 57 by 40 ones. They're about 2100 stitches. Those ones take a little longer. I'm hoping that they will hold a little bit better. The perforated paper gets a little softer on the edges. So that's more of these done. They are kind of meaning that I'm not getting as much of my own stitching done, but I have already laid claim to all the ones in the office that if they're pulling them off the office whiteboard, they are to go in a bag with my name on them, and they're to come back to me. And they are 100% on board with that, because the lead is aware I've put time and money into these. So she's like, nope, that's fine. There is a note somewhere in the office of they are to come back to me. If any of them go missing, there will be questions. We do have FanFest again coming up, and I asked if we're going to have new ones, and she said yes, and I'm like, can I get them early so I can have them done before FanFest, because FanFest is only 4 weeks or 12 nights. I'm not actually sure if it's 4 weeks or 3. But yeah, I asked, can I get the pictures? They take me about half an hour to put into the computer, and then anything from 2 to 5 hours, depending on how much stitching I've done and how much I'm focusing on them. The Snowman was done. He took a couple of days at work, plus, you know, an hour this morning. The ornament's not too bad. It's big blocks of colour, but like if there's a lot of detail in them, a lot of colour changes, they can take a little longer. And some of the ones that I've got coming up have like 3 stitches of this colour and 1 stitch of this colour, and they're just a pain. So you'll see this a lot more. And that is currently in a Black Needle Society bag, which the people at work saw, and they're like, wait, it's a Harry Potter bag. And I'm like, yes, because it is convenient, because I also take my tablet with me, which is why I'm missing. I had another quarter of the paper, but it got caught on my tablet stand in the bag last night when I was at work. It is what it is. So technically they are my only finishes. So there was 4 of those. Each of those is stitched on 14 count perforated paper. They're all designs by Colouring Squared, which, as I said, is a website that has all of those. We're just converting them into, it's pixel art, so just converting the numbers into stitches. As I said, we're going to see a lot of them, just because I'm stitching all of them twice, and they are a really good interactive thing for, activity thing for us to do, because we can colour those in like a lunch break. Okay, so into my stitching progress. I've only got 4 projects. I've been working on those little squares, plus it's just been a fortnight, guys. Like, this equates to 5 days worth of stitching. And the little squares I'm only working on in the living room or at work. So there's just been a lot of non-stitching days this year. But it is what it is. So first up, let's get back on track, is the Bookmark Shire by Country Magic Stitches. I put in 744 tent stitches where I was, which probably went over all of the details anyway, and here is where I'm at. This is stitched on a 25 count easy guide. There is a lot of fabric here because I have 4 of them on the same piece of fabric, and I'm trying to work out if I have enough fabric to do the 2 Jurassic ones, but we're getting there. So we're down to the top of the hobbit hole. We are filling in I think I'm halfway down the page with stitches. I'm definitely not at halfway on the project though, but 744 stitches, and it was probably 3 hours of stitching. The needle minders are from Black Needle Society, and a freebie that I think was Galloway Gallery or Magic Spell Designs. And I have one of my new nudges in my project bag. Project bag is Black Needle Society. Next up is my oldest stitch. This is the project I am trying to get finished. This should get finished. If not next month, it will be the following month. Depends on how many stitches I put in it next month. And here it is. So this is American Classic. This is by Posy Collection. Here is where it was. This is stitched on a 14 count off-white Adia that came in the kit with all the kitted fabric. It's partially on the Q-snap, it's staying on the Q-snap at the moment. And here is where I'm up to. So I've got a good chunk of his jacket done. How about we zoom out so you can actually see him properly. So I've got a good chunk of the jacket done. I got another one of the stars done, so there's only one star left. I haven't quite done enough of the jacket to start backstitching the jacket as I go. But there is 1,460 something stitches left. I did 832 stitches on this this fortnight. It probably won't come out again in January, but then it will get more stitches in February. Because I still have many projects to work on for all of my goals for January. That is in a Live and Die LA project bag. Needle Minder is by Black Needle Society. Next up is Royal Games 1 by Mirabilia. And this is stitched on, here it is, where it was. This is stitched on 28 count French Vanilla Mistake by Live and Die LA. I did 563 stitches. My threads, my needle minders are stuck together. There we go. And here is where I'm up to. I got a chunk of the bodice done, but it's all in white. As well as some more of those sleeves. Where this comes up here, that is basically where, so where they join, they don't join straight. So I am very close to getting to the bottom of Queen of Hearts, and then we will start on Queen of Spades. There is also a lot of beads in this. Needle minders are a couple of Amazon and Adam Hart designs. Adam Hart cross stitch. I may go back before I move down to Queen of Spades and do all of the back stitch in the top. I'm almost finished her arm. I have almost finished her arm. Once her arm is done, I can go through and do all of the skin. But there's some binds and some other details at the top that it's just like if I can get that back stitched, I can then go through and just work on the bottom of it and then come back and do all of the beading. That is in a me-made project bag. And then my last project I worked on, I do not have a printout of. This is Wonders of the Hubble Space Telescope by Climbing Goat Designs. Here is where it was. This is stitched on a 28 count. I have to change the page on my note. This is stitched on 28 count Midnight Sky Lugana by Live and Die LA. And here's where it's up to. So this wasn't in my January goals, but Linux Stitches posted the abandoned cell for her birthday, so I did pull this out and put 500-ish stitches in it. I put 584. So it is going technically away. I'm going to leave it out in case I get all of my goals done. Here is where I'm up to. I got 580. Sorry, there's hanging threads. There we go. So I got 580 stitches in this one here. So I'm getting there. The fold is just under where it all is stitched. I think when I finish this square, I will start doing the border. The border is 3 colors, so if I can do like the first color of the border and then do, so I'm not just all of the border at the end. So yeah, we're getting there. I already know it's going to have a lot of back stitch at the end because A, I haven't done any of the back stitch as I've been going. B, all of the images are named at the bottom with backstitch, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use the glow in the dark white or if I am going to use regular white or if I'm going to use Krennic. I'm using the glow in dark in James Webb because I was trying to 100% finish those squares. But these ones still have all of those holes for all of the white stitches. Needle minders are from Thread Wine on Etsy. And that is in a Wild Violet project bag. So that's all my stitching. Tonight I'm probably going to pull out Santa's stamp collection. That's the next one on my list. I have a list that I have my goal wheels. They all are numbered by row. I then did a random wheel. So I'm a little bit planned. So instead of going, I have so many projects to work on. I'm like working my way down the goal wheel list of the numbers that I spun. So they're not like I'm just doing like, it's fallen that I just did all the low numbers first. So I still have a couple of big numbers to come. I may also pull out Frogwarts. I finished unpicking, I think we're over here, yeah. So I finished unpicking year 3. So I really need to get in and start stitching the quotes. It may end up being I do 1 quote a month. Because I am behind, but I'm also, I'm making progress on it, technically. I just haven't really done much on it this month, and technically it was a negative number. It was like 594 negative stitches, so we are back down to the line I have for that re-stitch is back down to 0. Once it's finished, that will just get deleted, but it's giving me an idea of how I'm going on that rechart, because the stitches will get counted on the patterns. Once that's done, I'll go through and I'll mark them off on the original patterns. It's a little convoluted, but it's working for my brain. So that is all of my stitching this week. It's been a week. And then this is my haul. This is all I got for haul. I have haul coming. because I have orders that I am waiting to come in. So the problem I have, I'm doing those small projects, these 4/1, and it's really tough to get through when you're getting into the filling in like the black. So I got a thread grippery, but it doesn't 100% help. So I also got a single thread grippery. They're a little awkward to use, so I'm only using them when they're really tight. I think it's the thimble on the end here, but the thimble also helps push the thread through, the needle through. So this is designed for hand stitching, basically. So I'm giving them a go. I just got them off Amazon. But that is, you know, the only haul. This was a Clover product, I think. I don't know what I did with it. And this was just a random, like, flexible thimble, I think is what they, or needle puller, I think is what they called them. So trying things to make that project go just a little smoother, because I still have a lot to go. So that's all of my projects. That's everything I've done. I've done no sewing. I've done no Disney. I was supposed to go to Disney on Wednesday. I was supposed to go to Disney today. But I've been sleeping like trash, and you know what? I didn't make a reservation, so I just decided not to go. Hopefully, I might go on Sunday. I might go on Monday. I'm working Tuesday. I'll find a day to go. But yeah, like, I've not really done anything health-wise. It's all been pretty chill. My WIP Parade went up last week. Thank you to everybody who's been watching it and commenting on it. After that, I'm actually trying to actively take before photos without the project in Q-snaps or a frame, and then I'm putting those into a separate folder on my laptop for my next WIP Parade, just so people get full photos instead of just the cropped ones that I had this year. Other than that, I don't even think we're going to hit half an hour on this one. So have a great day. Find your jam. Work on what makes you happy. And thanks for watching. Bye.